everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It's been ages now since I've done one of these little videos of mine. Lots of issues, won't go into the details, you don't need to know. But I'm back! Hey! And today I'm going to be taking a look at the My Hero Academia by McFarlane. Ochaco Uraraka. I've recently got into the show thanks to my wonderful daughter. Brilliant little anime. If you like kind of fourth wall breaks and the whole like Avengers thing, you'll love it. It's so off the wall and so stupid at times, but also so engaging and so deep. It's a brilliant little show. But today we're going to take a look at this amazing figure of my favourite character. Her hero name in the show is Gravity. Her quirk, as they call it in the show, which is what they call powers, they refer to them as quirks. Her quirk is 0G. Anything she touches, she can make completely weightless. But if she uses her power too much, she throws up. But enough of my rambling on about this amazing show and this lovely figure. I'm going to switch over to the review station and we'll take a closer look. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, so here we are in the review station. There's the figure out of the packaging. As you can see, she stands perfectly fine. We'll get into that in a minute. We'll have a quick look at the packaging. As you can see, lovely, lovely bit of artwork there of the figure at the bottom with her name right there. On the side, My Hero Academia at the top. My Hero Academia, and also artwork of some of the other characters in the show. All Might, Sue, Tenya Ide over there, he's another one of my favourites. Bakugo, Zuku or Deku, and Minietta, the biggest perv on the show, but he's brilliant. Just down here we have the character's name with Funimation at the bottom. On the back of the packaging, again, you have a lovely piece of artwork of how she appears in the show. There you have Kirishima. His quirk's actually kind of cool. It's called Hardening. He basically turns his body to rock. And down there is Todoroki, my daughter's absolute favourite. His quirk is Fire and Ice. Very complex character, very interesting character, very good show. But that's it for the packaging. Next, we're going to take a quick look at the accessories that come with the figure. Sorry, I'm just readjusting my chair. It's not quite where I need it to be. Whew. There we go. Right. We'll take a quick look at the accessories and then we'll take a look at the figure herself. So I'll put her off to one side for the moment. Please stand up, please stand up. There we go. The first thing she comes with is, like a lot of McFarlane figures, they do come with stands, but this one, due to her quirk, she comes with an actual little flight stand, which isn't too badly done. I mean, it's see-through plastic. It says My Hero Academia right there. It's just a standard clip. It's on soft ratchets. You can position that down, or you can actually rotate it all the way around. So if you want her flying above the stand, you can do that. Or you just rotate it, tilt it up, and you can have her in sort of a hovering pose. I mean, you suppose you could do that to have her flying, but then you've got to accommodate the legs around this piece. But, yep, that's it for the figure stand. It's a nice little inclusion. You know, for given what her power is. I will show that off properly in a minute. She comes with two alternate hands, left and right. One is, oh god, this one's tiny, and I've got big nails. Right there, tiny little fist, tiny little fist. The one cool detail, oh no, I'm thinking of the other hand. There we go, this hand, she's got a kind of a trigger holding hand, but they don't use guns, so I don't get it. But the one thing that's really cool on this hand is, I don't know how well that's going to come across on camera. You see the very tips of the fingers are painted pink, and that's because for her power, when she wants to deactivate it, she puts her fingertips together, You can see it better on the actual figure herself. I'll show that off in a sec. And the final accessory is a swappable hairpiece. Not a swappable head, a swappable hair and helmet piece. I'm not so keen on this, just due to the kind of shape of the dome. It makes the character's face look weird, and I prefer her without it. I mean, in 90% of the show, she runs around without the helmet on anyway, so, yeah. But yeah, that's the accessories. Now, as for the figure herself, now this is really, really impressive. I mean, the paint job on the face is amazing. This suit is actually two different types of plastic. It's pink plastic and dark, like a dark bluish black plastic. It's not just like black with paint, pink painted over the top of it. It is actually, you know, separate pieces. Same with the up here, right down to here. You can see on the tips of her fingers, she's got the little pink dots. Again, that ties into her power, because obviously you can kind of pose her where she's kind of, there we go, deactivating her power, kind of. That's the general idea of it anyway, but it's the same on both hands. Very cool. Very, very nice, like, attention to detail, that. That's what I like about McFarlane, that not every company would do something like that, and I just think it's a nice little touch. It's just kind of that finishing piece on the figure. Same, this is all the two types of plastic. Same with the belt. There's a butt. The belt has got some nice sculpted detail, but it is just lines. But again, that is accurate to the animation model. So, you know, it's fine. It works. And I love, 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 love these boots. I want a pair of these boots. How friggin' awesome are those? I mean, hello? Did not skip calf day, did you, hun? I just need a drink. Give me 2 seconds. And there's the undersides of the feet. And there's the back. There's the hair. I'll show how the hair swapping gimmick once I've gone over articulation. But for articulation, you've got head is on a ball joint going from the neck into the head, and then there's another joint down here, but the joint lower down is really, really stiff. But you can get some nice looking down poses. Quite good all the way up. I mean, the hair gets in the way a little bit, but I mean, if you kind of push it back a bit, you get it there. Amazing tilt. I mean, that looks like she's kind of broken her neck. She looks kind of a bit zombified there, but you know. Butterfly joint kind of in the shoulder right here. Kind of. It goes back and forwards, but it's barely noticeable. I mean, you can see there, that is barely a butterfly joint. That's like a millimeter backwards and forwards, and that is it. Shoulders are on a hinge joint, so they go that far down, that far up, which, you know, it's kind of human anatomy correct, I suppose. You can go 360. There is a bicep joint hidden by this band, which I think is a brilliant little touch. Double jointed elbows, so you can almost get a kind of, you know, very anime girl pose. Nothing for this part. That part is attached to this piece. And the hands on ball joints, but they're like Revoltech joints, where if they're pointing one way, you get up and down. But if you mess around with it, you can get that facing the other way, and then you've got left to right. So, and that's the same both sides. Upper body, we have a torso joint right here. Goes that far back. That far forward. move her arm out of the way. There you go, that far forward. And you get quite a bit of side to side, but you do start to break up the sculpt and the lines a little bit if you mess with it too much. This is a separate piece, but it's kind of awkward and kind of stiff to get that to move, to like give her a waist joint. It's there, but you have to really pinch to get it to move. It's quite stiff. I mean, it might loosen up over time, but it's really stiff at the moment. Legs. Now, this is kind of where the figure suffers a little bit, and I understand why, and I'll get to it. But legs go that far out. I mean, you can kind of force it a little bit, but it's plastic fighting against itself. So you can kind of get, if she's doing a high kick. I mean, that was the shape of that costume is unfortunate right there. But yeah, so that's that. Forward, you're only going to get about that far. About there, look. And then at the back, look, you start to see scuff marks and joints and all sorts of stuff popping about. Backwards, not far, not very far at all there. And the front looks really ugly now. There we go. Double jointed knee, which is very nice to see. I'm rhyming. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. And then that's it for the legs, because a lot of McFarlane figures usually have quite the same kind of joints they have in the hands. They have them down here in the ankles. Now, I understand with the design of this character, the way the boots are, that if they tried to put a ball joint or any kind of articulation, even thigh swivel, shin swivel, or ankle joints, it just would have destroyed the sculpt of these amazing looking boots. And you know what? I'm actually fine with that. I actually prefer it to look like that. I prefer it to look like that and have zero articulation below the knee than have articulation and it look ugly as shit, to be perfectly honest with you. So, right, now for the hair swapping gimmick. This can get tricky. What you have to do is pull that off and what the fuck? But there you go. See, there's paint scuffing there, which is why I'm not a big fan of the whole hair swapping thing. I'd rather 2 separate head sculpts than 2 separate hair sculpts. Now the idea is this peg, this square peg, goes into this square hole in the middle of the hair. You see it right there, look? Problem is, it's really tight to get it in place. And you're fighting against all the ball joints and everything that are up in the head. So you're just constantly battling with it. And you know what? It's not necessary, really. I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to fight with it. It's not going to go on. I'll just stick with the standard pre-installed, already on the figure hairpiece it came with when I bought her. And that looks fine to me. Now for the flight stand, stand up. There we go. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. You watch me get a copyright strike now because of that. Singing a bit of Bob Marley. Get a fucking copyright strike on me. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised if I did. Right, now this is kind of the pose I put her in. I kind of position her hands outwards to kind of make it look like she's just started levitating herself. And that's kind of how I have her on my shelf. So, oh shit, camera malfunction. Oops. I'm leaving that in. That's staying in. Behind the scenes fuckery. Lovely. Yeah, I'm going to switch back out now from the review station back to my normal camera. And yeah, I'll give you my final thoughts. Right, so that was my look at the McFarlane My Hero Academia Ochaco Uraraka figure. Like I said in the review, it's a damn good figure in my opinion. For the price that you're paying for these guys nowadays, these McFarlane My Hero figures, I picked this one up in, oh god, where was it? Toymaster, Burton-on-Trent, Toymaster Midco. If you live in the Burton area, trust me, if you're into collectibles, best place to go. I picked it up for like 23 quid, I think, something like that. And, you know, they're quite accurate to the show. They're not spot on, they're pretty fucking close, though. I mean, a lot of people complain about the face sculpts. I'm fine with that. But yeah, they're really well done figures. They represent the show, and if you're a fan of the show like I am, just having these little plastic representations of your favourites is brilliant. Although McFarlane just recently announced they're doing one of the characters who essentially is invisible all the time. You've never seen what they normally look like. It's just invisible. And their costume is a pair of gloves and a pair of shoes. And McFarlane are doing like a stand like this with a pair of gloves in like jazz hands kind of pose with a little pair of shoes that go into the bottom, and that's it. And they want 20 quid for it. Sorry, McFarlane, but I'm not buying that one. If you put it in a pack with someone else, I'll buy it. Like, you know, another Izuku figure, because there's already like 3 versions of him. But, you know, stick it in with somebody else, and I'll buy it. But literally a pair of gloves and a pair of shoes with a stand on their own. No, not happening. But anyway, remember to do all the usual stuff you do with all this kind of thing, you know, like, subscribe, comment, share, tell your pets, aunties, dogs, cats, rabbit, turtle that lives down the bottom of the garden. Tell everybody, I don't care. But I hope you enjoyed this review, and I shall see you next time. Mwah. Bye-bye.